This is the Fan. It's the Tiki and Tierney Show. Big shout out to those dopey Major League Baseball schedule makers. How about that Mets game yesterday?
Wait, which one?
Mets didn't play. How about that Yankees game?
Hey, which one?
90% of you didn't get to see it because it started at 9:41. Okay.
Hey, what were we
Memorial Day.
What were we doing all day yesterday?
Having a good time.
Waiting for baseball. All damn day.
I've been waiting all day for Monday
basketball.
night.
Yeah, you're singing over here. How about that Taylor Swift
I don't get the Taylor Swift phenomenon.
My wife
I don't
went,
get it.
My daughters went. Everybody went.
Everybody went.
Aaron Rodgers went.
Yes, he did.
He went with Miles and Kaylee Taylor. What's it? Teller? What's her last name? Miles Teller. And everybody that's anybody was talking about this concert. You didn't go. I didn't go. But I ended up talking about it all weekend. Why? Because Aaron Rodgers was at this concert. People taking video of him. He's dancing.
Just let the man relax.
He's going crazy. His teammates are getting all over. Can't he just dance in peace?
Yeah, it's true.
Seriously. But, I mean, obviously, he's Aaron Rodgers. He's in a private little area underneath-ish the stage.
Yep.
And he's dancing to Taylor Swift songs. And a lot of people think they don't know Taylor Swift songs. Trust me, the kid, she's been around forever.
Yeah.
And she's been
I couldn't name one song, though. I know
hits.
I couldn't name a song.
I bet you could.
I could not name a song.
I bet you could, after this weekend, name The One. The One is the name of the song where they throw the confetti.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers is up in this little area talking about the Jets are winning the Super Bowl.
It's my quarterback.
The Jets win the Super Bowl.
Laser focus.
The Jets win the Super
Clarity.
Bowl. Look, I bring this up for a couple of reasons. One, because Taylor Swift was fun this weekend. Everybody was talking about this Taylor Swift concert over at MetLife. 3 nights. She played 44 songs, BT. 44 songs.
That's insane.
3 straight nights, 44 songs. And it was epically long. But Aaron Rodgers is there. He's now a confirmed Swiftie. I forget what song he said was his favorite one. But during The One, which is the name of one of her songs, BT, he starts screaming, "The Jets win the Super Bowl," it's kind of cool. But in a way, he's like touching the money, touching the expectation.
There we go.
It's one thing to know that he comes in, and he said this at his introductory press conference, that Lombardi trophy from '69 looks very lonely. And he kind of just sets, this expectation, this little side expectation that this is what he's there to do. But then you start hearing what's happening in this clubhouse, in this locker room, I should say, in the NFL, with all of these guys now looking towards Aaron Rodgers, looking for the direction, not dissimilar to what Tom Brady did with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, looking for a catalyst, like an icon that's standing on a pedestal to help this team get the mentality, first of all, the mentality to win a Super Bowl. And if you're a Jet fan, you're excited. But at the same time, there is a lot of steps that go into getting to and winning a Super Bowl. And the only fear that I have for Jet fans with Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers, he's iconic, right, at this point. He's a Hall of Famer. He's, all the platitudes you want to throw, it's all there. This team is still young, and they have a coach who's still got to figure things out, and it's all got to gel before we start talking about the Jets win the Super Bowl. I know it's exciting. Is that Taylor Swift probably feeling himself a little bit?
You think he was on anything? Legitimate question.
I don't know.
That's the only thing I wonder.
Because I'm trying to think if I was a star and I was someplace
very public.
Yeah. If I would be crazy. I don't think I would have been.
No.
I don't think I would have been.
I think I'd be terrified.
Unless I was. And I'm not saying anything. Hell, who cares? It's all legal these days anyway. So who cares ultimately? But I worry slightly that the cart is getting put way in front of the horse.
All right.
With the New York Jets.
Okay.
And Aaron Rodgers is feeling himself.
That's right.
And loving it. And he's loving being in New York. And we all know the expectation. Everybody's talking about it. I mean, hell, they're saying, I forget what show I was watching, if Aaron Rodgers wins the Super Bowl for the Jets, he becomes the GOAT. It's like, come on. Come on.
They're saying that now?
Yeah, I'm like, come on.
No, he's not going to become the GOAT, but he's going to become, when you look at New York sporting lore, the Namaths, the Messiers, the Reggie Jacksons, it's...
he's already iconic. He becomes more so.
Oh, my God. Listen, he may as well embrace this. I love what Aaron Rodgers is doing. There's no hiding. There's no sneaking in the side door here. The Jets are all in. Let's see if they make a play for DeAndre Hopkins, by the way. It was just unceremoniously dumped by the Cardinals over the way. That was pretty crazy. And I know that there was something on social media yesterday with Hopkins where he's maybe connecting or others are connecting him to the Jets based on something that he wrote. This is actually Aaron Rodgers isn't for everybody. All right, not for everybody. His style and whatever, how he presents himself, even some of his views and of the world of life, right? But Aaron Rodgers is about as smart as it gets. I think he's about as witty as pro athletes come, because he doesn't take himself incredibly seriously, which I think is a great thing for a young team. And, what's the other option? Come in and try to like shield and fend off this energy of the Jets? It's undeniable, dude. You have 6 primetime games. They created a new game for you on Friday, the Friday after Thanksgiving.
That's true.
It's Black Friday. The Jets, last year, they had the Offensive Rookie of the Year. They had the Defensive Rookie of the Year. They may have had, if Breece Hall doesn't go down, they may have had Offensive Rookie of the Year. So, it is what it is. I understand, especially with the Jets, that if you bite off too much early, you almost feel in the back of your mind, from a Jets fan's perspective, that you're just destined to get burned. I don't worry about that. In terms of touching the money and actually coming out there and stating Super Bowl, even though he was kidding around and having fun.
Yeah,
I think it's great. I think that I think that those young kids that you referenced before in that locker room are taking a cue from him. And he can go one of two ways. He could try to resist it and run from it, which is not possible in this market and these situations, or embrace it and go for it. And he's going for the latter, and I think that's the right thing to do. I love it.
I think that the winning in the NFL, really, I guess in any sport, it takes some intentionality, right? It takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of focus on the little things. And it's not always about stating the goal. Everybody knows the goal. It goes without even saying, hey, what's the goal of your season? We want to finish just above 500 and, try to make less mistakes than we did last year. That's not the goal.
Yeah.
The goal every year is the obvious. We would love to get in position to compete for and win a championship. And stating that goal publicly, as much as it feels like it's getting stated with the Jets, is in part a good thing, but it's also making it feel like it's easier to get there than it actually is. And so the challenge that the Jets face with a coaching staff that still has to prove themselves, let's face it, they were really good last year, especially on defense, and skill position-wise, as individuals, they were good. But as a team, they won 7 games. And so there is still a lot that needs to happen in order for them to be in position to win a Super Bowl. And the only thing I worry about is it gets so talked about that it becomes a foregone conclusion without ever taking that first step. That's the only thing that I worry about with this Jets. And Aaron Rodgers talking about the Super Bowl every opportunity that he gets, even at the Taylor Swift Eras Tour, listening to the one.
It is amazing. Oh, my God. 877-337-6666. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. It's Tiki and Tierney back on this Tuesday. And we're inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Our friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guarantee lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. We'll get to all the baseball later. You can't love it all. The way the Mets followed up that great series against the Guardians, all the vibes, all the energy. 2 out of 3 Cubs you lose, 2 out of 3 Rockies you lose, and now the slate's getting tough. So we'll certainly weave in there with some good teams coming up on their schedule. So we'll get into the Mets. Aaron Judge, Aaron Judge, and we'll do this. Aaron Judge is better this year than he was a year ago. I'm not saying he's going to hit 63, but Aaron Judge as a baseball player is more refined and simply better. But yeah, I get it. It's a fun story. It's a cute story. It's also a memeable story. That's the thing. That is the danger. Back to the Rodgers stuff. When you put yourself out there like that, you either punctuate it and go down as a legend, or you basically become a meme. Yeah, you do. Yeah, and he knows that.
Well, the only comparison I can think about, because it's very rare that you get an older. I don't want to call them old, because these guys aren't old anymore, even though they're close to 40. Tom Brady was over 40. It's rare. I guess Joe Montana would be the best example of a legend at one spot with the 49ers who went someplace else and then had success, almost gets to a championship. So Montana didn't do it with the Kansas City
beside
Chiefs.
Brady. Besides Brady.
Well, prior to Brady, it was Montana. I can't even think of anyone else that has done it. And so I think
Peyton did it.
Yeah, but it wasn't really him.
He threw 50-something touchdowns one year.
Yeah, but the year they won the Super Bowl, it was shot.
Yeah, I mean,
so so my point is, I guess Peyton does fall into this category as well. But I think when you and he's actually maybe the better example, because Peyton Manning, it wasn't Adam Gase's stellar offensive game plans that got them, got him 50 touchdowns in 1 year and into the Super Bowl and a victory the next year. It was a great defense and Peyton's focus on the details. And the same thing can be said about Tom Brady. We didn't hear Tom Brady talking about, hey, we're going to go win a Super Bowl here. He was saying it internally. Right, he was talking to those linebacking core. Remember Devin White? He didn't make the Pro Bowl.
Yes,
and Devin White was pissed off, and Tom Brady just came straight to him and said, "Dude, that's a small goal, man.
I remember that.
We got a bigger goal. We're winning the Super Bowl this year." He didn't say it publicly, but he said it internally. It was intentional how he was focusing, the drive towards ultimate success, and it worked. It worked for Peyton Manning with Denver. It worked for Tom Brady with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And now that's the expectation for the Jets. It's just getting talked about a lot without a lot happening. So, and again, it's still early. We're in the off season. I mean, hell, we've had an OTA. Haven't even had a mini camp yet. Training camp's still 2 months away. But there's a lot of talk about the Super Bowl for the Jets, and that can sometimes make that shortcut easier to take as opposed to taking a long road to making it happen.
Let me tell you something. What's happened here, and again, we'll see how it plays out, and it's going to be a wild ride here on the fan all fall, right? But with one move, the Jets have, in terms of discussion and the poignant nature of who they are and what they might be, or if they implode, the energy that comes with that. The Jets are suddenly, and you could challenge this, but go ahead and be my guest. The Jets have jumped in front of the Golden State Warriors. That's over. That's over. The Jets have jumped in front of.
What do you mean? As far as
it's over. They're done. The Jets have jumped
as a current big story.
Yeah. The Jets have jumped over LeBron's Lakers. It's over. I mean, you look at now. I'm not saying that it's justified, but right now, the discussion points and the clicks and the devotion of shows. I mean, they have basically jumped over everybody, and that's terrifying. But it's also galvanizing. So embrace it because you can't run. That's what I'm saying. 877-337-6666. All right. Do you like it or does it worry you? Kyle's in West Orange. What up, Kyle?
What's up, guys?
What's up, Kyle?
This is for the bald and sexy crew, fellas, because I'm bald too.
I love it.
Hey, guys, I just want to say me and my wife celebrated our 13-year anniversary this weekend.
Congratulations.
All right,
congrats.
And this is one of my this is my favorite show right here. Look, I like the Jets. Jets are my second team. All right, and I'm gonna tell you something. Because I live in Jersey, I live in the area. So my thing is, I love this. This is what you need. This is New York. This is what we always talked about.
Yeah.
Douglas comes over, and this is what we knew this guy was going to do to GM. So let's get, like you just said, let's get used to it. Let's get on this train and let's roll with it, because this is New York City. This guy is a Hall of Fame proven quarterback. He's got that energy. He's got that good vibrations, man. That good, the young, talented team like this. We kept saying all we need is a quarterback to get this team into the playoffs, and that's all you need, man.
Yeah.
That's
Kyle,
all you need. Why not?
Kyle, I got a question. First of all, happy anniversary, brother. Hopefully you guys had a great time. That's the first thing. Now my question.
Thank you.
Yep, and Tiki knows my ears perk up when I hear this stuff. Who's your first favorite team? Who is
Well,
it?
I was born in Philadelphia, but raised in New Jersey.
Okay.
And now you know, right?
Yeah, I got you.
And I waited at 1980. I got on the bandwagon. 1980.
Okay.
So, and I lived in Virginia for 4 years too. When my father was in radio, and we were always moving from one spot to the next,
Nice.
like that.
Okay.
So I was in Virginia, and I was a huge Virginia Cavaliers fan.
Love
Ralph
it, man.
Sampson,
Yep.
Wilson Leonard, So I lived in Richmond. So I followed the team there. I jumped on that bandwagon, and brother, was I sorry for a long time, man. But I didn't want to give it up. I didn't want to give it up. But I'm going to tell you something. I used to always look at the Jets because my uncle, when I was a kid, I had a Joe Namath football set from 1972 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I always looked at, my Uncle Richard was a Jets fan and all that kind of stuff. So I always kind of liked the Jets. When I came here, coming up here as a little kid, I remember those days looking in Richmond when they had, what was that guy, Todd as the quarterback?
Richard Todd.
Richard Todd. When they had Richard Todd. I remember that. They lost to the Dolphins that year.
That's right.
So, I think this is but we're not used to it. The Jets aren't used to all this attention like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you know, Kyle, Kyle, here we're not used to it. But you know what?
Yeah,
I'm not afraid of it. How much more can you hurt us? That's my point, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle.
Buddy. Great energy, too. That a boy. Honestly, I've said to Teague several times, split us Jet fans open, and there's basically a dead football corpse. Maybe there's, maybe the ventilator is barely like every once in a while you get a little surge of oxygen. We're basically dead. So whether or not the Jets start 5-0, whether or not the Jets start 1-4, it's either going to be euphoria if it's the former, it's going to be anarchy if it's the latter, but nothing about this season is going to be benign. So Taylor Swift, 44 songs, 4 hours, biggest event so far, I guess, of the year. I mean, everybody in the world's talking about it.
I know it.
Why the hell wouldn't you drop a Super Bowl declaration with the confetti coming? I love it.
The one thing you can be really comforted in, Jet fans, is that Aaron Rodgers called MetLife his stadium.
That's right. I've been telling you forever.
This is my stadium. Come see us at my stadium.
He's marking his territory, dude.
He really is.
He is. He's all in.
I'm just saying, don't get out ahead of yourself. Don't get out ahead of those skis too early, Jet fans.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, let's not forget, a couple of days ago, he got hurt in his first practice. Second practice, but first where the cameras were there. And, that obviously sent the warning flare ooh, okay, let's tap the brakes. But no, I'm not tap anything. Let's go. You got the horses. I know the AFC's absolutely stacked. If there's ever a time to embrace this, it's absolutely right now. He knows it. We know it. There's no hiding. So he's having fun with it. He comes across as loose. The last thing you want is a 39-year-old guy coming in the building with the pressure of the world on his shoulders, because that would then project to the rest of the team. I like the approach. And now, I think this is something we could discuss a little later. Does Robert Saleh love this? I don't know, because that just ratchets up the pressure on him.
Well, that's the follow-up question. Yeah. What is Robert Saleh? I mean, he can't say jack about it.
Say a word.
He can't say anything. It's not his call. But what does Robert Saleh think about this?
Well, let's talk about it a little bit more. 877-337-6666. Tiki and Tierney back from the long weekend. Hopefully, you guys had an awesome time. We'll get back to your calls.